being a good football player, how does that translate later in a kid's life? What kind of lessons do they learn in football that make them successful when they get out of school?
How could it be any better to have an employee that's disciplined, that's there every day on time, and takes pride in their job, and gets along with everybody in the building? You know, and when you're playing BC football, you got to have all those qualities. And one thing I really love about football in our world and our communities today is a lot of our people need to learn how to get along with other people. They don't do a good job of that. They learn that at Bakersfield College. You learn how to get along with the browns, the blacks, the yellows, the greens. All of us, once we take the field, we're renegades. And that's probably the biggest tribute to a BC football player. When he leaves here, he's disciplined in the job world. He's ready to go in there and go to work. You check with the guys working downtown, and their bosses will tell you some of the best employees we've had. They don't, you know, if they got a little bit of cold, they don't feel good that day, they're at work, just like when you're practicing a BC football. You got the flu, you suit them up and you practice. So you learn those things, those qualities that you develop on the football field carry over into the working world.
As far as the other changes, the changes in the way they conduct their lives, the things, the values they have, the things that start to become important to them, I start to see a lot of that change. And you know, they start to grow up. If you could develop, like I heard someone say here today, if you could develop that unselfish attitude just a little bit, and then just start to polish them up to the point that they understand that they need other people, that they're not the only creation God ever made, that we're all need each other, need to work together, and those kinds of things. You see guys really change in that respect. On the other hand, there's never, like I've said, there's never 100%. I talk to guys after they've been through a 4-year school. They're basically the same guys, but I think by and large, guys grow a lot in the atmosphere of a disciplined situation where values that are good are promoted by the leadership. Okay.
What did you find that the motivation part was something that you liked, and how did you motivate players? What was your approach to get players to be better?
Motivation is really important, but you know, you can't take a young man that doesn't have a chance to be a good player and motivate him. It won't happen. You need to start off with a decent human being, you know, and the way we played football, and Coach Damron and I worked together a lot, we both like to run the football. And so you had to be motivated, you had to be fired up to be a fullback at Bakersfield College, because you're just a fancy guard, really. You know, you're back there 5 yards deep, and you got to run into big linebackers. You got to be a little bit crazy to do that. And the only way I ever knew to motivate a player was just do it over and over and over till you get it right, and that's not hard to do. But it takes a player with a big heart and a lot of guts to do that. And you know, I don't think at Bakersfield College, I don't think Coach Damron did. I never did. I never cut a player in my life. I never told a player he couldn't play for BC. And I know one year we started out with 132 players and ended up with like 78. Yeah. We never cut one player because they couldn't take the repetition. They couldn't take the discipline. They couldn't take the 100-degree heat, you know, that we love to do. Yeah. And that's what we did at BC. We just did it over and over again until we got it right. And that's what motivates somebody.
Kind of sorts itself out, huh?
Yeah, it does.
They're ready to break the banner, but they're not ready. Football is a repetition's a way of life. You try to doctor it up one way or the other and make it more palatable, but you're going to have to drill, and you got to drill over and over with a purpose. And if you drill letting them do the wrong thing, you're making them worse. So some way, that repetition's the key, and that you isolate motivated kids that way. I mean, the guys that are willing to put up with all that junk, are the kids that are motivated, because they have a heart to do it.
Yeah.
You know, just sitting here talking together about things, I can remember things that happened here on this hill. I can remember under these trees the doggone blackbirds coming down and pecking me in the head. I can remember Coach Bowser wrestling with a fullback that bit him in the side and left a mark on his side. I can remember so many things. Some of the trees, I can remember all those linemen over there against the wall doing quarter eagles. I can remember how small these trees were. So you start to get the old guys talking about the past, but there's a tremendous number of good memories that come from that. And I think in the case of players where they have a good experience, and that's your job as a coach, to give them a good memory. You're making that kind of thing for them. And I think that's all, you know, that's really important, and I think that's key in changing guys.
So when you think of all those years, it sounds like it's those personal. I mean, more than the big victories and the potato bowl when you kill Taft or.
Those are easily forgotten. The ones you remember are the losses. And I can never remember Coach Bowser and I talking. We worked together 28 years. I can't remember any real conflict we ever had, and I don't understand that exactly.
Cameron, go. We are BC.
We are BC. We are BC.
Good job. Okay, Coach. Makes for a little better. Okay, Coach.
We are BC. We are BC. How's that?
That's great.
Okay.
Okay.